Wise Men Say YouTube channel, and this is the Void. The Void, yeah. The Void is Los Angeles of California, yeah. They have the highest rate of omicron infection in the USA, while having some of the highest COVID restrictions and the highest vaccination requirements, yeah. But in another timeline, the band Tool, #Wise Men Say, had already flushed the city of Los Angeles down into the ocean. So it could still happen in this timeline. So everybody in coastal California, learn to swim. Yeah, learn to swim. Because wash it all down. Wash it all down. Wash it, sink right on in there, see? Yeah, that's the void. Yeah, that's the void. And a wise man once said, I know the pieces fit because I watched them crumble down. Yeah, #Tool. And this is Temperal Rick on the Wise Men Say YouTube channel with the Void, talking about the Void, yeah. And here we are, J. Patrick Morgan, the Wise Men Say dude, and some people have asked why I'm the Wise Men Say dude. Is it because I've been to Boston, but it's been a long time? Or it could be that I go after some meatloaf like a bat out of hell. Or I take a journey just to escape. Or when I lay it on the line, then I tend to triumph. Could be very many reasons. When I see eagles, I tend to take it easy. Who knows? But this particular Wise Men Say acoustic performance is an original. Was done by Bottom Feeders, Clarksville, Tennessee. That was essentially from 2004 to 2007. After I left Tennessee to go back home to the hometown, do things on Mama's farm and all that, we managed to form a band together, me and some old hangout musicians from years ago, called the Shadow Walkers, and second place in the Battle of the Bands for the local area one of those years. After Shadow Walkers kind of departed, later on formed an original music studio band that also did some live playing called Future Ghost, and we had also played this particular song in Future Ghost as well. So we're going to give you a song that's pretty darn old. It's the copyright is 2005, so this is a 17-year-old song, not quite considered classic rock. This is Where I Keep My Sanity. All right, reggae blues cross here. but I'm walking off this pain. And I'm not talking, tired of talking, it's so insane. I'm visualizing leaving on the train and recognizing that all my wishes are so in vain. Yeah, fire burning where I keep my cool, and I got every right to act like a fool. For the love of all humanity, I got a hole in my Bible where I keep my sanity. But I-ba-dee-ba-doo-ba, mercy me, yeah. No use crying, no use throwing a fit, 'cause I'm getting older, I might as well get used to it. And I'm bouncing back, well, some would stop before I hit this wall. Oh, I fall in the cracks. Yeah, it's a wonder poor mama's got a backbone left it all. Fire burning where I keep my cool, and I got every right to act like a fool. For the love of all humanity, I got a hole in my bottle where I keep my sanity. But I-ba-dee-ba-doo-ba, mercy me, yeah. If you ever want to get out of this place, gonna just have to try and keep it together. Keep it together. Go to the parties, but the parties they always end. And I'm not trying to cause a scene, I'm just trying to blend. I walked a mile in your shoes, and the shoe didn't always fit. And to this day I wonder why I ever even gave a shit. Well, fire burning where I keep my cool, and I got every right to act like a fool. For the love of all humanity, I got a hole in my bottle where I keep my sanity. Yeah, yeah. But I-ba-dee-ba-doo-ba, mercy me. But I-ba-dee-ba-doo-ba, I keep my sanity. Yeah, yeah. But I-ba-dee-ba-doo-ba, keep my sanity. And there you have it, unplugged, where I keep my sanity, originally from Bottom Feeders. And, well, as I usually say with the back end of every video clip, 7 minutes and 49 seconds and counting, and I'm killing it here. And this is the spoken of clip from earlier promotions on Facebook and so on. January 13th, 2022, end of day's discussion. Okay, I'm going to make watchers do some of their homework concerning Ezekiel chapter 7. There's a lot of repetition of what's going to happen to Israel concerning their wickedness in chapter 7 of Ezekiel. You know how when people are super angry, they end up repeating some of the things over and over in their rants, and there seems to be a lot of that throughout chapter 7 of Ezekiel when God is speaking to Ezekiel about what's going to be happening there, because they have turned away from God in this time period. And in every so often in between all of that, it will be and they will know that I am Lord, or that they will know that I, the Lord, has done this to them, those kind of things. The wording is just slightly variant depending on if it's King James Version, New Living Testament, New English Version, so on and so forth. Not homework-wise, but you can look it up just to verify. I'm going to go with Revelation 18. I think there was a typo in Facebook I got to correct concerning promoting this particular video segment too. I think I accidentally put chapter 19 possibly. And I'll have to go back and check that later. But in Revelation 18, starting with verse 23, well, actually, verse 23, all by itself. The light of a lamp will never shine in you again. The happy voices of brides and grooms will never be heard in you again. For your merchants were the greatest in the world, and you deceived the nations with your sorceries. Okay, that's basically speaking of scientists and science, because while there are moral scientists that learn science and are using it for the right reasons, there are so many more that what they do with their research is more guided by corporate funding, and the corporations really don't like it when your research goes against what they're selling instead of for what they're selling. Really, that's the same way also in politics. In secret societies, G7 summits, and just about anything that might break into the news concerning world news, which is largely propaganda on the mainstream side of things. You really have to go to alternative news, the ones that the mainstream calls fake news. To really get balanced, objective reporting on anything that's going on in the world. And that's in relation to the image of the beast in everyone's home, and out of its mouth spews blasphemy. That is talking about your TV screen's image. That you're looking at on a TV screen's mouth being speakers, and your mainstream entertainment and news is the image of the beast in everyone's home. Unless it's a third world country, there is pretty much a TV and computer and cell phone and things with screens in everyone's home. But we'll move on from that. The type of wickedness described in the book of Ezekiel in general is in complete line with the United States as a nation. So you might as well compare Israel at that time to the United States now in that aspect. And seeing as Babylon, for that book of Revelations verse, was basically the World Trade Center of the time period when Revelation was put into written word. The World Trade Center that everybody knows today, that's not too far away from the United Nations building, the Twin Towers that were knocked down and a memorial replaced in its place, World Trade Center, New York City. New York City's imports and exports are it's the largest center of import and export activity going on as well as far as North America is concerned. So you can be comparing Babylon in Revelation, which has fallen earlier in that chapter 18 of Revelation. We're pretty much talking the United States. Now, China is a big power, and Russia is a big power, and the UK is a huge power, and you can debate all those sort of things. But it's pretty much, if you put those together, that's in line with the United States and what is going to happen in the United States in the next few years. Like I said, I'm going to make you do your homework on reading Ezekiel, all of chapter 7. And so we're going to cut this end of days discussion video off here. And it's up to you whether you want to take the time to look into all of this for yourself. J. Patrick Morgan, end of days discussion, and we're killing this video here. Yeah, man. So, like, dude, welcome to yet another weekly commentary from Alterego here. So, like, dude. And, anyway, so, like, dude, what is the deal with, you do like Mama taught you the gentlemanly thing of holding the door open for a gal, or telling them they look nice today, and like gentleman things, and you know, and they give you this look like your next move is to sexually harass or insult them or something. And then in the same age, you have women that say, like, chivalry is dead or something. You know, it's like it's like look, woman, almost said the B word there. Look, woman, chivalry is like dead because y'all killed it, because you think it's an insult or something for some dude to be like a gentleman or something. Chivalry is dead because y'all stuck a knife in our groin and twisted it around 3 or 4 times, and y'all killed chivalry. That's what y'all did, you know, with your reaction to gentlemanliness and things. So, like Dudette, I'm just saying, if chivalry is dead, y'all gutted that chivalry and left it out in the pasture for the wolves to chew on or something. And that's all I can say about that. So thank you for watching this episode of Alter Egos. So like, dude. And here we are, J. Patrick Morgan, and this is the clip known as the Real Apolitical News on the Wise Man Say YouTube channel, and more recently been on Rumble for a few months now. Okay, this is not really public news, but I got my new shirt from Amazon yesterday. 2 Corinthians 5:7, walk by faith and not by sight. Very good message for people out there that are seeing things that not as they seem. Okay. Very quickly, I did get the news, and I posted it on my Facebook page of a gal named Sarah that died in her sleep recently. 5 days prior to that on Rumble, she did a video talking about her adverse reactions to the COVID shot that she had been having, and we, of course, can't 100% say that it was due to that shot, but it very much seems like it with the timeline and the adverse reaction symptoms described. So go ahead and check on my Facebook, John Morgan with Feral Man in parentheses, and you will catch that video, hopefully before they decide to take it down. I'm holding on to a link to that video because Rumble does not delete videos based on whether it goes against the propaganda news or not. So there we have it with that. Also, for Wednesday the 12th, they are having a meeting to discuss a law in the state of Washington per the Liberty Council that they want to take away religious or philosophical exemptions in the state of Washington concerning camps, like, youth camps and summer camps and so on and so forth. If you are a person in the state of Washington that has a religious or philosophical reason for not wanting to vaccinate, you want to get some updates from the Liberty Council, maybe get some details on how or what they're discussing concerning that law, so that you can get out there and get petitions signed and fight it whatever way you can. Oh, sloppy hair here. I've been outside in the wind. I had my hood on for a little bit, getting all straightened out here. For the main topic of Real Apolitical News, as advertised earlier in the week, we're going to talk about the economy, as much as it's gone downhill in the recent year here, and a little bit going on with that. We are in the alien nation where everything isn't meant to be okay. Hashtag Green Day, hashtag Wise Man Say. They early on, like last fall, they had this thing about the bottleneck on a New York port there, and that they couldn't get a lot of manufacturing materials and imported goods from those ships, and that they were just sitting out there. And At one point, they did try to say that there was a shortage of truckers, but they busted that theory right out of the window, as there was a couple dozen empty trucks that had been sitting there for 2 weeks, not moving, not going anywhere. There was no trucker shortage, so the Real Apolitical News shot that out of the water back while the Grumpy Monday Morning Show and Friday Morning Precursor Show was still active on my YouTube and Rumble site. Okay, and so now they're saying there's this huge shortage of workers being out because of coronavirus, and that all over the United States, this is per CNN, where they're saying this, have rows and lines and lines and lines of empty store shelves. And in a short period of time, I managed to ask 9 different people in 9 different states that I touched base with for news and fact-checking correspondents. All verify that they actually saw very few empty shelves in the regular stores that they shop, and the ones that were empty were more related to really good sales that were advertised in sales flyers in the newspapers and so on, so that really had nothing to do with workers being out for coronavirus things. I did, however, today, I happened to be in Walmart, but I didn't have time to ask because I had such a short period of time to get that particular shopping done. The entire produce and lettuce shelves, not the boxes out in the middle where the potatoes and onions and all that stuff are, that between the shelves and the deli per se, but the actual shelves where super Walmarts typically keep their lettuce and spinach and general produce like your zucchini and your cucumbers and so on, was completely empty. Nothing on any of it anywhere. Seeing as the rest of the store was very well stocked, grocery-wise. Well, pretty much everything, clothing department and electronics. It was well stocked. I really think that may have to do with general maintenance and cleaning of that refrigerated produce section, more than it would have to do. But again, I had a limited time to be there. I really didn't have time to ask a store employee, hey, why don't we have any? Because I was going to get some lettuce and spinach and salad items and stuff, which I could not get at that time. Now, the thing about the economy is a lot of what they're putting out there is more of a scaremongering thing. They're kind of hoping people will still react like the toilet paper thing and go into a panic buying situation and so on. I really, from the verification that I was able to get, do not see anything that correlates to what CNN happened to say in that particular article. So the Democrat side of the news on that, out the window. If you do catch this news report and you do have a store in your area where the shelves are just very noticeably excessively empty or something, I would like you to place a comment on the YouTube or Rumble or both videos, or send me an email. I can touch base on it next week on Real Apolitical News and say, hey, well, I did get some information that some areas have some heavily empty store shelves. It is true, however, that just about everything has gone up in price over the last year and a half, especially, um, and that probably has to do a lot with them printing tons and tons and tons of money, sending out tons and tons and tons of stimulus checks, and raising the already over 20 trillion national debt even that much higher. I think the national debt has really kicked up by approximately 5 trillion in the last 3 years. Since the coronavirus has hit, and they've done all the stimulus check things and put all those other coronavirus related programs out there, and the money's got to come from somewhere, and that's why the national debt has gone. And so that is our clip for the Real Apolitical News, and this is J. Patrick Morgan, the Wise Man Say Dude. Catch Real Apolitical News weekly on the Wise Man Say YouTube channel. And you're going to have another clip in this particular upload that is end of days discussion. We're going to talk about some things in the book of Ezekiel in one particular passage in Revelation that tells us that in the next couple of years, United States is kind of toast as far as being a sovereign constitutional country. And so that you're going to catch on this clip too, but you might have already caught it, because I really decide after these clips are done what order they're put into, basically on how much time is in the video. So at 11 minutes and 58 seconds, I'm killing it here.